Today we are going to discuss about the topic computer organization and architecture. In that architecture, we are going to see module 6 control logic design. Here there are two parameters. One is hardwired control, another one is microprogrammed control. Now we are going to discuss about hardwired control. Before we are going to see the hardwired control, we must need about control logic design. What is control logic design? It is a central processing unit. It directs that the operation of a processor. The processor should be taken the input from a CPU, and then it conveys the memory, arithmetic unit, logical unit, as well as input and output sessions. It takes the input from the memory and to the memory. So it is considered as control logic design unit. Then we go for hardwired unit. What is hardwired unit? It is a machine of states. Simplified, it is a state machine that changes from one to another state or one to many state in every clock cycle. Without clock cycle, the state machine couldn't shifted from one place to another place. It is mainly depends on the register. The register is otherwise called as memory. The both of them should be stored in a different shells. That is, it is a memory occupation cells, or data should be stored in a register and as well as the memory. These are the hardwired unit design. Then we are going to see the introduction. Here, to execute the instructions, there is instruction means the protocols. The processor must have to generate a control signals needed in a proper sequence. Without control signals, we can't able to move a data or giving the instructions to processing the data. It is a very rapid manner. So we must in need of the control signals, and then we are need a control signals. At the same time, we should go for implementation categories. Here there are two type of implementation categories. Number one, hardwired. Number two, microprogrammed. What is hardwired implementation? It is essential of state machine circuit because of the control unit. Without control unit, we can't do able to do anything. So we must know about the hardwired implementations. Here it involves the control logic to be implemented with the gates. Once again repeating that, it involves the control logic to implement it with the gates. Gates means logic gates, and then flip-flops, and then decoders and other digital circuits. With the help of that, we can able to describe the hardwired implementation technology. It consists of two decoders. Number one, sequence counter. Number two, number of logic gates. For example, we can able to use one logic gates or two logic gates or three logic gates. Depend upon the usage, we can able to implement a hardware implementation, and it is essentially to make a state machine circuit with the help of control unit. Second one is microprogrammed implementation. What is microprogrammed implementation? It should be stored in a control memory as it is in the form of micro instructions. What is micro instructions? We shall discuss. Here it takes several micro instructions to carry out one complex machine instruction cycle. That is, do you know about CISC? I think so. CISC means complex machine instruction cycle. It is called CISC. It takes several micro instructions to carry out one CISC machine. So it is considered as micro instructions. Another name of micro instructions is we can store instructions in a microcode. We can store a single instructions in a microcode. It is considerations of microprogrammed implementations. Next, hardwired controlled sketch. It is other name is called control unit organizations. Here we are going to see clock. IR means instruction register, and then control step counter, and then decoder, encoder. In the bottom of the schematic sketch is the control signals, and then external inputs, and then conditional codes. Here going to see the content. Here, what is decoder and encoder? It is a combinational circuit that generate control signals. That is, we should require to generate, then only we can able to do a combinational circuit, and the process and the input fetches in the process, and then we can able to get the decoded output. And then what is control step counter? It is a keep recording or keep tracking the control steps which we have already utilized in that decoder and encoder. Here the each count of this counter corresponds of one control steps. Here already we have seen the schematic sketch. The last one is control signals. In this control signals, we are in need to know what is control step counter, IR register, and then conditional code flags, and then external input signals like MFC and interrupt request. Here already we know about the control step counter. Keep tracking or keep backtracking the record, and as well as the content of IR register. IR means instruction registers or interrupt request registers which are being utilized in this area of hardware control unit. And then third one is control or conditional code flags. What is conditional code flags? Here extra bit kept by the processor, then only we can able to determine and take the information from the processor. And then last one is external input signals. We can able to include some external input signals like MFC. What is MFC? It is a memory flow control. And then interrupt request. What is interrupt request? For example, we are sending information to one people to another people. I am a sender, you people are receiver. I am sending information to you people. So you must acknowledge for my information. That is called interrupt request. We can communicate. That is called full duplex, I think so. We can able to communicate the both the sessions. Then only we can able to prompt such a manner. So these are all the subcategories of schematic sketch of controlled unit design. And then some advantages and disadvantages of hardwired control unit and as well as control unit organization. Here the two such things are we are going to see in hardwired control unit. Number one, fast. Number two, delay. You may know every such a manner of control unit design, the fast because of control signals are generated combinational circuits. Because of the combinational circuits only we can able to do some encoding techniques and decoding techniques are fastest manner through the help of control signals. Without control signals we can't able to do such a thing. You know about the such a thing parameters in the control signals, MFC, external inputs, instruction register, and then code signals. The code signals are some such a manner. And then disadvantages of hardware control unit. What are the some disadvantages are? This situation must more complex because of the design, and there is no flexibility and difficult to add new feature. We can't able to add some new feature. What as it is a given input we can do as such the parameter which having helping hands. There is no flexibility at all, and the more control signals we are going to require for CPU, because every such a thing, every input are taking from the register or the memory through some helping hands. So more the control signals are required for the CPU, so the situation becomes more complex to design a control unit. So it should be these parameters are coming under the disadvantages. And then hardware control unit design methods. Here these are all the three types of methods which are going to be utilized for further process. What is the further process? Here they have mentioned state table method, number 2 delay element method, number 3 sequence counter method. These are all the three major categories which are going to rule hardware controlled design methods. Without these three parameters we can't able to do hardware control unit design methods. So number 1, state table method. Here what is state table method? Here a designer of central processing unit lists out all possible states of circuit present and minimize the number of states, then only form a table and generates a control signal. Have you catch my point? I think so. Here the designer of CPU lists out all possible states. For example, we have n number of possible states. Can we take out of n number? We can take as a 10. We are having 10 states. Apart from 10 states, the circuit presents the minimized number of states. Out of 10 we can choose only 5. Then they form a table. apart from the 10 we can having in my hand as 5. From that 5 states we can generate a control signal. This is called state table. Once again repeating that we having a n number of possible states. From that possible states we can take only 10 possible states. From that possible states we can decide or classify from 10 out of 10 we can choose only 5. From that 5 we can generate a timing signal or control signal. This is called state table method. It is other name is called classical method of sequential circuit design, I think so. Here in the diagram you know combinational logic and then they are connected with FF. What is FF? It is a flip-flop. What is flip-flop? We can store only one bit at a time. What is the one bit? We have only one bit, that is zeros and ones. Zero is a lower order state, one is a higher order state. Here there is a some state transition table. In every state of the control unit generates a set of control signals already which have been discussed. Without control signals, without set of protocols, we can't able to do some startup constructions to form a state transition table. Here the major role plays the control unit transmits from one state to another state depending upon your current scenario. Here there are two parameters are mentioned here: current state, input to the controller. The both the state and input we have taken from the register to the register or the memory. Without state we can't able to do anything. Already we have discussed in the session diagram. Here the continuation of state table method. Here there is some three parameters. Number 1 state assignment, number 2 state minimization, number 3 state encoding. Now we are going to discuss about the number 1 state assignment. What is state assignment? Here it should refers by using state variables to define a specific state. The state variable to define a specific state. Then how the values of the state variables are determined. The first parameter is the state variables to define a specific state and how the values of state variables are determined. And then this mode information is saved in a diagram file. It is mentioned as a state assignment. Here for example S1, S2, S3 we can take up to etc. Such assignment specifies a particular state and then controlling at the specific time step at the temperature of the stable state can be derived from a state assignment. And number 2 state minimization. What is state minimization? It is a transformation of a given machine into the equivalent machine with no redundant states. It is called state minimization. Here some set of states we can able to take SA, SB, SC can be merged in a single state. So we shall consider as a pairwise compatible. So only I have already said there is no redundant states. It is called state minimization. And then number 3 state encoding. What is state encoding? Here we are going to assign some unique pattern of ones and zeros. Then only we can define a state of finite state machine. What is finite state machine? It is called FSM. Then it can be abbreviated by finite state machine. Its design criteria for finite state machine synthesis were speed and area or both. Then only we can rectify the situation. The major task of criteria of frequency here synthesization were speed and area only. Why we are going to be finite state machine means then only we can able to enroll or define the state encoded in terms of state variables. Without these variables we can't do the state encoding. So here these are the three parameters which should be ruling the condition of state table method. Number 2 what is delay element method? Already we have discussed, I think so. State table as the same similar to that. Here delay element is the method which is based on the D flip-flop. Already we have discussed what is FF. FF means flip-flop. Flip-flop is a single bit storage device, either zeros and ones. Similar to that, delay element method is based on D flip-flop. D means delay for control signal timing. Here we are maintaining a control signal timing only. Without control signaling or grouping a control signals are activated in a proper sequence, we can't do such a delay element method. So for the synchronization of operation, D flip-flop is a major implementation using a common digital clock. Already we have utilizing for parameters, 3 users are utilizing. For 3 users we can give a separate clock for the 3 users, but in the situation delay element method we are going to give a common clock, then only it should be controlled and should be implemented by using the D flip-flop. And there is some specific delay between activation of 2 consecutive control signals or grouping of control signals. Either you can take n number of control signals or n number of grouping signals, it is not a issue. We can maintain a D flip-flop, then only we can get a appropriate output or accurate output from this situation. And then here some of the rules of delay element method. Here we need to maintain 4 dignitary delay element rules. Apart from that 4, number 1, each is sequence of 2 successive micro operations requires a delay element. For example, for sender and receiver or operating a delay element, so there is some micro operations required for a delay element. So only we can take S parameter state 1, state 2 and then delay element, and then without control signals we can't do anything. So such a matter shown in the schematic sketch. And then number 2, the signals are intended to active same control lines or logically ordered to get one common output. For example, in our class there are 33 students. We 33 are ORed with one single output, then only we can get as S4 A section, it is a common output. So we can ORed the inputs and get the single output. It is the rule number 2. At the time we should be active for the control lines, then only we can able to get the ORed output as a single control lines. Keep it on your mind. And then number 3. What is 3? Here n lines in the flow chart merge to a common line or transformed into a OR gate. There is the same situation to be followed. Second and third are similar to that. Here n lines in the flow chart, we can get a flow chart, we can merge into a common single line and transformed the n input to the OR gate. So here the same information should be passed for the flow chart also. And then number 4, the decision box can be implemented by 2 AND gates as shown in the figure. Here we need to take a decision, so from the decision box we need to implement it. Here AND gate should be implemented for the input. These are the 4 delay element method progress. And then last one is sequence counter method. What is sequence counter method? Here it uses counter for timing purposes and as well as sequencing. What is the counter for timing the purposes? Without timing the information or counting the information, we can't do the sequence counter method. First of all, we need to identify the phrases of flowchart, whether it should be in which flip-flop states. Here in that example it shows RS. What is RS? RS flip-flop states that zeros and ones and zeros. Set and reset or reset and set. Begin with reset, end with set. So without clock we can't do this flip-flop handling p number of distinct phases. Here the phases means only 2 phases, ones and zeros are 2 phases. And step 2, the maximum number of distinct steps of each the phases. The maximum number, we can take n number of possible states. Apart from n number of possible states, we can utilize only 2 states, that is RS, reset and set. Without 2 states we can't able to do anything in that sequence counter method. And then last step is step 3, design of combinational logic circuit to generate a sequence of control signals of micro operations. The same thing should be followed here also. Without combinational circuits we can't do anything. with the help of combinatorial schedule, we need to include the sequence of control signals or sequence of control counter, and as well as the micro operations or micro instructions. This is the third part of the sequence counter method. Now let me discuss about the summary. Already we have discussed control logic unit design, and then hardwired design. Number 3, introductions, and then hardwired implementation and micro programmed implementation, and the control unit organization schematic sketch and some parts of control unit organization, and hardwired advantages and disadvantages, and 3 stages of methods hardwired or control unit organizations. What are the 3 stages? Number 1, state table implementation. Number 2, delay element implementation. Number 3, sequence counter implementations. The next part is microprogrammed control will be discussed later. Thank you.